All right. Hello, everyone. Miss Thibodeau here. I am showing you this video right now, or I'm making this video for you all so that maybe we can use this as a method to do math a little bit differently than the way that we have been doing it. It's a little bit hard for me to teach both classes for this 1 hour that we get to see each other. So hopefully, showing you all these videos and recording these for you will help you, especially whenever you're doing independent work or if you need to do some review before a test. I'm hoping that all of this will help you. So today we are going to be learning about dividing by multiples of 10. So we're just going to be continuing division. So give me just a second. So as usual, before we begin, what time is it? That's right, it is math time. So let me share my screen. All right, and of course, here's Ms. Thibodeau just letting you all know that it is math time. All right, so we are not on lesson 5-1, so please ignore that. We are on lesson 5-5. We are going to learn how to divide by multiples of 10. We are on pages 263 to page 266 today. Okay, so get this really fast. Okay, and pause my share, stop the share. Okay. We are on page 263. Reshare my screen to my doc cam. All right. So our I can statement for today is, let me make this as straight as I can. I can find the quotient when the divisor is a multiple of 10. So the word here, divisor and quotient. Don't forget, whenever we say the word quotient, we want to think about Q, the Q. And the Q, you should remember that as being the queen at the very top, okay? And then the divisor is outside of the house, knocking to try and come in, all right? So the quotient is at the top and the divisor is outside of the house, all right? So it says, Cameron's soccer team has $168 to buy uniforms that cost $20 each. Don't forget, we want to try and underline the really important details so that it can help us solve the problem later on. $168 to buy uniforms that cost $20 each. How many uniforms can his team buy? Will there be any money left over? Solve this problem any way you choose. It's also really important for you all to remember that they are asking you two questions. And a lot of you are getting the answers incorrect or not getting your points because you are not answering both questions. But if they are asking you two questions, then you need to give them two answers. Okay? So here. All right, so let's go back and reread the question just so that we can get familiar with what we need to know. And I write at a slant, so I'm trying to fix this as best as I can. Okay. All right. So we know that the soccer team has $168. Each uniform costs $20 each. So I know I'm going to be dividing 168 by 20. All right. So on the outside, my divisor is 20. And I'm going to be dividing 20 by 168. Okay. So we're going to try and do this how we have normally been doing this. So first we want to start off by seeing about, can we divide 1 by 20? No, we can't. Can we divide 20? Can we divide 16 by 20? No, we don't have enough. But we can divide 168 by 20, right? So I know my quotient is going to be right here. This is where I'm going to start my quotient, okay? So how many times can 20 go into 168? We're gonna have to do some skip counting, right? So let's skip count by 20. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 120, 140, 160, oh, 160, which is really close to 168. Because if I do 9, it'll be 180. 180 is way over 168. So let's keep it to 160. All right, so 20 times 8 will give you 160. So I'm going to write 8 right here. Okay, don't forget our steps of division. Dangerous, monkeys, swipe bananas, or still bananas, whichever one you want to use. So dangerous, monkeys, swipe bananas. And then don't forget about this R. This R is really important for today because guess what? Some of our quotients will have remainders. And that's not something we've really touched on before this lesson. So it's really important that you do not forget this R for today. Okay? So 20 times 8 is 160. So don't forget, now we're on subtract. 168 minus 160. 8 minus 0 is 8. 6 minus 6 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So we have 8. But guess what? 20 cannot go into 8. So 8 will be our remainder. So we have 8, remainder 8. All right? 8, remainder 8. Because you have to think of it like this. If you were to call the uniform place to order your uniforms, can you say, I need 8, remainder 8 uniforms? They're going to look at you like you're crazy. So you have to take this into consideration whenever you are trying to figure out your quotient and then the remainder. The remainder is always important, okay? So we know we have to answer the first question. How many uniforms can his team buy? Well, guess what? We know that his team can buy, Cameron's soccer team can buy 8 uniforms. All right, boom, I'm done. Nope, no, I'm not. I answered one question, but did I answer the other question? No, I didn't. So I need to go back and look now and figure out how can I answer the second question. Will there be any money left over? The leftover is my remainder, what remains. So how much money do I have left over? $8. There will be $8 left over. All right. If you need to go back in and pause this video and try and decide if you did this the right way or if you understand it, now would be a good time to pause this video. So let me pause my share really fast. All right, let's move on to the second problem on this page. How much more money is needed to buy an additional uniform? All right, well, if we know each uniform costs $20, right, per uniform, we already have $8. So we need to figure out how much money we have, how much money we need to be able to purchase an additional uniform. So we need to do 20 minus 8, right? We can't subtract 8 from 0, so we need to go ahead and borrow. This 2 becomes a 1, the 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 8 is 2, and then 1 minus 0 is 1. All right, so how much more money is needed to buy an additional uniform? $12. So they need $12 to buy an additional uniform. And you can always go back in and check your answer because 12 plus 8 equals 20, right? If we buy an additional uniform, that means that we would have 9 uniforms. So we can do 9 times 20, right? 9 times 2 is 18. Add the 0, 180. So they would need $180 to buy 9 uniforms, all right? Well, if they already have $168 and we add the $12 that's needed, we need to make sure that this equals 180. 8 plus 2 is 10. 6 plus 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8, and 1 plus 0 is 1. 180. 180. So that's another way to check your answer. All right. So let me share my screen now. Again, should I say? To show you all this. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay. You might not still be able to hear that. Let's see. Share my audio. So let's try this now. No. Okay. Give me just a second. Stop. All right. I got that fixed. I'm ready to go.
What are the steps in dividing by a multiple of 10? Let's take a look. This year, a group of 249 students is taking a field trip. One bus is needed for every 20 students. How many buses are needed? You can divide to find how many 20s are in 249. Before you begin, estimate so you know where to place the first digit in the quotient. Estimating also helps you determine whether the answer is reasonable. You can use compatible numbers to estimate 249 divided by 20. 240 is close to 249. 240 divided by 20 equals 12. Does the estimate solve the problem?
All right. So they're asking us, does the estimate solve the problem? If we're estimating, no, we're not solving the problem. We're just checking the reasonableness of our answer. So no, estimation does not solve the problem.
No, an estimate only tells you about how many buses are needed. An estimate also tells you where to put the first digit of the quotient. Step 1. Find 249 divided by 20. Start with the tens. Divide. 24 divided by 20. Multiply. 1 times 20. Subtract. 24 minus 20. Compare. 4 is less than 20. Step 2. Bring down the ones. How does bringing down the 9 ones relate to using partial quotients? With partial quotients, you multiply 10 times 20 equals 200 and subtract 249 minus 200 equals 49. By bringing down the 9, you get the 49 ones that were left after dividing by the tens.
Okay, so here we get
The ones. Divide. 49 divided by 20. Multiply. 2
And these are all steps of division: divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat, or remainder. Dangerous monkeys steal bananas. Or another one is dad, mom, sister, brother, rover. Okay, that's another acronym that you can say to help you remember the steps of division.
times 20. Subtract. 49 minus 40. Compare. 9 is less than 20. The quotient is 12 with a remainder of 9.
So, what I want you all to think about is if you had to order a bus, if you had to call and order a bus, how many buses would you order? Think about that. How many buses would you order? Would you order 12 remainder 9 buses? So think about that.
What does the quotient of 12 with a remainder of 9 mean? There are 9 students left after filling 12 buses. Since there is a remainder, one more bus is needed. A total of 13 buses is needed. Is the answer reasonable? The answer is reasonable because 13 is close to the estimate. Now you know the steps in dividing by a multiple of 10.
Awesome. Okay, so now we are going to go on to the second part on page 264. Let me reshare this out. 264. The convince me. It says, for the example above, show how you can check that the quotient is correct. Explain your answer. So please do not forget that the way that we can check our division is by doing the opposite of division. So what's the opposite of division? Multiplication. So the way that we check it is we multiply the quotient without the remainder times the divisor. Okay, so we do quotient times divisor. Okay, so show how you can check that the quotient is correct. Explain your answer. All right, so first we do the quotient times the divisor. What quotient did we get? Don't forget, the quotient is the queen of the house. So the very top, we got 12. So we would do 12 times the divisor. Don't forget, the divisor is outside of the house, trying to get in. Okay, trying to divide up the household. So what's my divisor? 20. So we would do 12 times 20. All right, so let's multiply this. 12 times 2 is 24. Add the 0, 240. So 12 times 20 is 240. Is 240 close to, oops, sorry, is 240 close to 249? Yes, it is. So that's how we can check to see if our answer is reasonable. You multiply the quotient times the divisor. So we get 12 times 20 is 240, right? So we know 240 is close to 249. So we're already in a good spot. Then, once you do the quotient times the divisor, you add the remainder. So then we're going to say add the remainder. And what was our remainder for this problem? Our remainder was 9. So we do 240 plus 9 will give us 249. Guess what? 249, 249. The quotient is correct. The quotient is correct. All right. So we can write multiply 12 by 20 and add the remainder. All right, so we are good and ready to go. All right, if you need to continue writing this down or take some more notes, you can pause the video here if you need to. Okay. So now page 265, our guided practice. It says, in the example at the top of the page, 264, if only 137 students were going on a trip, how many buses would be needed? Okay, how many buses would be needed? All right, so if we have 137 students, right? And don't forget, one bus is needed for every 20 students. We would have to divide those two to see how many buses we would need. So we would do 20 divided by 137, right? Can 20 go into 1? Nope. Can 20 go into 13? Nope. But 20 can go into 137, okay? And this also tells us where the first number in our quotient will be. So we know it'll start right here, all right? So we need to do some skip counting to figure out how many times 20 can go into 137. So we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. Oh, 140 would be too much. So that means I would have to do 6. So 6 times 20 is 120. Okay, so we will write 6 here. Then we would do 137 minus 120 because 6 times 20 gives us 120. And like I said, a lot of times I run out of room, so I'm going to try and squeeze as much as I can in. So 7 minus 0 is 7, 3 minus 2 is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. So we have, and 20 cannot go into 17. So we have 20 remainder, so I'm sorry, we have 6 remainder 17. Okay? But what about these 17 students that are left? Do we say, oh, we don't have enough buses, so you can't come on the trip? That wouldn't really be fair. So how many buses do we need to accommodate all of the students? We need 7 buses. So that way we have enough to accommodate all of the students. So we write 7 buses would be needed. Don't forget, we have to accommodate the students. How would you feel if you were one of those 17 students that didn't have a bus, right? We don't want to leave anyone out. So we want to make sure that we have enough for everyone. All right. If you need to take a second and look this over again, please do so by pausing the video and rewinding. All right, so we are on the next one here. In the example at the top of page 264, why is 12 buses a reasonable estimate? Okay, so to check the reasonableness, we can either A, estimate, or B, we can use compatible numbers. For this one, I think it'll be better if we use compatible numbers. Okay, so here, they did 249 divided by 20, and they did the estimate here. Okay, so we would say 240. Sorry. Let me show you why they did 240 and 20 first. So they did 249. These are our actual numbers divided by 20, right? We have to think, what's a compatible number for 249 that goes with 20? Well, 2 can go into 24. So let's change this into 240. So we would do 240 divided by 20. All right. Remember, if we're dividing, we can cross out the zeros. 24 divided by 2 is 12. All right. So this gives us a reasonable estimate. And why Is 12 buses a reasonable estimate? Well, 240 was used instead of 249 to get an estimate. So it's reasonable. 240 is close to 249, and 240 divided by 20 equals 12. Like I said, I don't have a lot of room to work here, so I'm going to try and do the best that I can. All right, so we are going to go on here where it says, do you know how? In 3 and 4, divide, write the missing numbers. So we're kind of going to be doing some fill in the blank. All right, so we're still going to do division like we've normally been doing it, the standard way. Okay, can we divide 2 into 20 pieces? We can't. And they also already gave you a hint by putting the boxes, let's see, so you get the glare out the way, where the first number in the quotient will be. All right. So here, we know we will have to start here. 20 can go into 28 one time. All right. So 1 times 20 is 20. And then we subtract. 8 minus 0 is 8. And the 2 minus 2 is 0. So we get a blank. Now we have to bring down. So we will bring down the 0 here. So now we need to find how many times can 20 go into 80. Well, we can do some skip counting for that. 20, 40, 60, 80. 4 times. We write 4 here. 4 times 20 gives me 80. And we have nothing left over. So 20 goes into 280 14 times. All right? Same thing here. We're going to start off by covering each number up. Let's see if I can fix this a little bit. That might be able to help. Okay. Can 80 go into 7? Mm-mm. Can 80 go into 76? Mm-mm. But 80 can go into 766. But how many times can 80 go into 766? Well, I know 80 times 10 would be 800. So that's a little bit too much. So it would have to be 80 times 9 to make sure it doesn't go over 766. So 80 times 9. Okay? 80 times 9. Can you all see that? All right. So 9 times 8 would give me 72, and we add the 0. So 720. Right? 6 minus 0 is 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. So we have 46. And guess what? 80 can't go into 46. So 46 would be our remainder. And guess what? It's right here. So we know our answer is correct. So 80 divided by 766 is 9, remainder 46. All right. So I want you all to do some independent practice and use these skills that I've just taught you to go over some of these. Maybe we can work out one more just to be sure, right? Let's do number 5 really quickly together. So you can try solving this on your own. So if you are, pause the video, solve it on your own, then you can hit play whenever you want to check your answer. All right. Or if you may need some additional practice, just continue to watch this video and watch me show you how to work out number 5. Okay. So here, we're going to do how we are always doing. Cover up one number at a time. So we have 20 and then 3. 20 can't go into 3, but 20 can go into 30 one time. 20 times 1 is 20, right? 30 minus 20 gives me 10. Then you bring down the 0. So now you're at 100. Well, how many times can 20 go into 100? Hmm. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 5 times. Guess what? They already have the 5 written for you. So 20 times 5 gives you 100. And guess what? 100 minus 100 gives you 0. So you don't have a remainder. That one was really easy. So try working out number 6. If you would like to do it on your own, pause the video now and solve. And then whenever you're ready, you can come back and watch me work it out to see if you got the right answer. Or if you still need some additional help, you can continue to play the video. The choice is yours. All right, for number 6, going to keep the same steps. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and repeat. Okay? Can 60 go into 5? Can we divide 60 by 5 or 5 by 60? Mm-mm. Can 60 go into 59? Mm-mm. But 60 can go into 593. Hmm. So 60 times 10 would give me 600. But that's a little over 593. So I would have to do 60 times 9 to get an answer that's less than 600. All right. So now we need to do 60 times 9. 9 times 6 would give me 54. Then I add the 0. So 540. 3 minus 0 is 3. 9 minus 4 is 5. 5 minus 0, 5 minus 5 is 0. So 60 can't go into 53. So my remainder would be 53. So we have 9, remainder 53. All right. Let's do number 7 together again. So if you would like to solve this on your own, go ahead and pause the video and then come back and watch play to watch me work it out. Or if you still need some extra help, you can continue to watch me work out this problem. Okay, so here, can 30 go into 3? No. Can 30 go into 36? Yes. So 30 can go into 36 one time. Okay, so 1 times 30 gives me 30. Okay, 36 minus 30 gives me 6. We bring down the 0. Guess what? Now we have 60. How many times can 30 go into 60? 30, 60. 2, just 2 times. 2 times 30 gives me 60. 60 minus 60 gives me 0. So 12 is my quotient. All right. I hope that was pretty easy for you all. And if not, please feel free to watch whatever part of the video you need to continue watching. And if you still need any help, just please let me know. So I would like for you all to work on, let's do the odd numbers, 9, 11, and 13. So do 9, 11, and 13 all by yourself. So pause the video right now and work out these problems on your own. And then whenever you have worked out 9, 11, and 13, then come back and watch me work these problems out so that you can check your answer. All right. I hope that you are done working out these problems and that it wasn't too difficult for you all, but still, hopefully, it challenged you and challenged some of your thinking. All right. So let's work out number 9 first. So whenever I look at these numbers and they both have a 0, right? The divisor and the dividend, hmm, I'm thinking maybe we can cross out these zeros to get us started. And now I just have 5 and 25, right? Can 5 go into 25? Yes, 5 can. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5 goes into 25 5 times. But please don't put it right here above the 25. because then you would be saying 50 because you would have to still put a zero above this zero right here. So you need to bring it all the way to the end and say 5. 5 goes into 25 5 times. Boom. That's it, right? You can always check your answer. 5 times 5 is 25. Add the zero, 250. 250 minus 250 gives me 0, right? I hope that was easy enough for you all to understand. Now we have number 11, right? Can 60 go into 7? No. But can 60 go into 72? Yes, just one time. Because 60 times 2 would be 120. That's way too much. So we need to do 60 times 1. So that would just be 1. Don't forget, you want to put it above the 2 because we're at the 10th place right now. All right. So 1 times 60 gives me 60. All right. 2 minus 0 is 2. 7 minus 6 is 1. Then we bring down. Now we have 120. All right. Don't forget what we just did right here. Don't forget what we just did right here. So we can cross out the zeros, and then 6 divided by, or 12 divided by 6 will give me 2. Or we can skip count by 60. 60, 120. So it's still 2 no matter what. 2 times 60 gives me 120. Oops. 120 minus 120 gives me 0. So the answer is 12. And then last but not least, we have 40 divided by 375, right? Do it the standard way we've always been doing. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat, or remainder. This is really important. Really important. You don't want to leave anything or anyone out. Okay? Can 40 go into 3? No. But can 40 go into 37? No, it's still too big. So 40 can go into 375. Don't forget, my quotient will start right here. All right? Well, I know 40 times 10 would give me 400, but that's still over 375. So I would have to do 40 times 9 to get right under 300. I mean, right under 375. So it'll still be 9. 9 times 4 is 9, 18, 27, 36. Add the 0 would be 360. 5 minus 0 gives me 5. 7 minus 6 gives me 1. 3 minus 3 gives me 0. So guess what? 40 can't go into 15, so I would have 9, remainder 15. All right. So if you need extra help still after that, please feel free to work out the even numbers 8, 10, and 12 and try doing those on your own. Okay? Try doing those on your own and figuring out how to solve these problems. I can give you the answers for these just in case you would like to work them out. Number 8 would be 11 remainder 13. Number 10 would be 12 remainder 27. And number 12 would be 6 remainder 12. Okay, so you can try working out those problems to see if you get those answers. And if you still need help, please let me know. Please ask mom or dad or whoever you live with if they can help you. Or if you still need help, please tell them to send me a message or let me know tomorrow if you, especially if you have a small group with me, if you need help. So I hope that this was a really good lesson and I enjoyed teaching you all how to divide by multiples of 10. I will assign you homework um, this afternoon so that you can do practice buddy for lesson 5. All right. See you later.